Hello students, have a nice day. You all are welcomed on your own YouTube channel, English with Rakesh Shekhawat. Today I am here with you with another poem of your book Flamingo named An Elementary School Classroom in Islam, written by Stephen Spender. His full name was Sir Stephen Harold Spender, was born on Feb 18, 1909 in London. He attended Oxford University and fought in the Spanish Civil War. Spender worked for London Fire Service. He co-founded Horizon magazine and served as its editor from 1939 to 1941. He was editor of Encounter magazine from 1953 to 1966. Stephen Spender was leading advocate of social injustice and class struggle. The theme of socialism prevails in his work. Spender was professor of English at University College London from 1970 to 1977 and gave frequent lecture tours in the United States. He was knighted in 1983. Spender died on July 16, 1995. So students, now we are starting the poem stanza first. Far, far from gusty waves, these children's faces like rootless weed, their hair torn round their pallor. First of all, I want to explain some difficult words like gusty. Gusty means strong wind, blowing strongly. Rootless, rootless means without root. Weeds, weeds means useless wild plants. Torn, torn means scattered around disorderly. Pallor, pallor means here pale faces. So students, far, far from gusty waves, the children's faces are very far from energy and enthusiasm. They seem very gloomy. There is no hope or aspiration on their faces. Their faces are covered with untidy and rough hair. The hair torn around their pallor means their faces are covered with untidy and rough hair. Their hairs are like a grass, like a rootless weed which is uprooted. Actually, it is symbolic. They just like unwanted grass which grows anywhere and everywhere. It seems the world doesn't need them. Their life seems useless for the world. The tall girl with her weighed down head. There is a tall girl in the class whose head is bent as she is very weak. And then the paper seeming boy with rat's eye. There is a very thin boy in the class too who seems as thin as paper. He suffers from malnutrition and hunger. And he has big and bugged eyes like that of a rat. And the stunned, unlucky air of twisted bones. Now there is another boy also who is suffering from malnutrition and hunger. He has twisted bones, both not formed properly and out of shape. It seems that he has inherited this disease from his father. He is reciting his father's grand disease, a disease of twisted bones. Not his lesson, it seems. His lesson from his desk. At back of the dim glass, one unnoted, sweet and young. There is one sweet younger, unnoticed boy who is sitting at the back bench of the class. His hopes and aspirations have not yet lost and is full of dreams. His eyes live in a dream of squirrel's game. His eyes live in a dream of squirrel's game. Means his hopes and aspirations not yet lost and he is full of dreams. He dreams of a squirrel's game which he plays at a tree house in the tree room. Other than this, he also dreams that kind of a tree house which is very different from this classroom. Now the second stanza. On sour cream walls, donations, Shakespeare's head, cloudless at dawn, siege-like dome, riding all cities, belled, flowery, Tyrolese Valley, open-handed map, awarding the word its word. And yet for these children, these windows, not this map, this word, were all their futures painted with a fog, a narrow street sealed in with a lead sky, far, far from rivers, capes and stars of words. First of all, some difficult words. In first line, there is sour. Sour means unpleasant. Next word is donation. Donation means things given in charity. And next word is dawn. Dawn means early morning before the sunrise. And then civilized dome. Civilized dome means institutions of civilized world. Belt. Belt means heavy bells. Tyrolese Valley. Tyrolese Valley is a valley in Tyrol in Australia. Look here, this is Tyrol Valley. Open-handed map. Open-handed map means a map of the world redrawn by the directors of their own world. Its words. Its words means the world as partitioned by the conquerors. Now, stanza first. Second, on sour cream walls. In this stanza, poet describes the miserable condition of classroom. The walls are so dirty that they looked and smelled like a sour cream. On sour cream walls. Donations. There are some pictures and paintings on the wall, supposedly donated by some people. Shakespeare's head, cloudless at dawns. These donations include Shakespeare's picture of cloudless dawn, picture showing civilized dome, riding all cities, belt, and Tyrolese Valley with different flowers blooming in it. A large map of world. And yet for these children, these windows, not this map, their world. For these children studying in this classroom, window of this classroom are their world. They have no idea about the world which is shown in this map. Their future is full of uncertainty and darkness. They have no hope of getting out this foggy and dirty slum, where all their futures painted with a fog. A narrow street sealed in with a lead sky, far, far from rivers, caves, and stars of world. They have no idea about the world shown in this map. Their future is full of uncertainty and darkness. They have no hope of getting out this foggy and dirty slum. Their life is passing in dirty and unhealthy environment where they live. There is no open space where they can clearly see open sky. In other words, they live in narrow streets from where they see only narrow part of dull and grey sky because of population prevailed there. That is why they are very far from caves, beautiful rivers, and the world shown in the map. They only can dream of that world, not see or feel it. The world is quite different from that of which was promised to them. Now, third stanza. Surely Shakespeare is wicked. The map is a bad example. Poet says it is useless to show the children the photos of Shakespeare and tell them about his literary achievements. The map is a bad example. The map is a bad example for them as they don't know what the world is. With ships and suns and love tempting to them still, they are confined to the foggy slum and can't live in this world. Ships, sun, and love. It's also a bad example for them as they could steal things to get or to go such places for lives. They slyly turn in their cramped holes as their lives are passing in very small houses which almost look like catacombs from fog to endless night. Or their slag heap, the children's wear skins peeped through by bones and spectacles of steel with mended glass. Their houses are very dirty and they live in a very miserable condition. Their day starts foggy and ends as an endless night. They live on a heap of garbage and waste. They are too weak that their skeletons seemed peeping through skin. Spectacles of steel with mended glass like bottle bits on stones. They also wear spectacles which are discarded by the rich. They are as mended as bits of a bottle lying on a stone. All of their time and space are foggy slum. Their time passes in this dirty polluted slum which remains foggy at the time, and they can move only in that slum alone. So blot their maps with slums as big as dome. So their map should be blotted and as high and big as other buildings of the city. Stanza 4. Unless means if not. Governor, inspector, visitor. This map becomes their window, and these windows that shut upon their lives like catacombs. It seems that teachers don't care to teach them properly and tell them the real meaning of this map and other things unless any higher authority like governor, inspector, or any visitor would visit school. These windows remain their word, not that is hung on the wall. These windows like catacombs that shut upon their lives like catacombs. The poet says that these windows, like catacombs, burial chambers from where they peep through. These windows has become burial chambers from where these students peep through. Now poet again said, and so break, oh break, open till they break the dawn, and sow the children to green fields, and make their word run azure on gold sands. The poet again said that these barriers should be broken to bring them out of the slum. Otherwise, they will be ruined and they will run the city as well. They should be brought to the open plain. The poet suggests that they should bring to the open land green fields and make their word azure. And they should be take there and should let them run bare feet on the golden sand on beaches. After that, run naked into the books, the white and green leaves, open history there, whose language is sun. They should be given the opportunity to study the history of those legends whose history is printed on white and green pages. Only those can make history who have good opportunity. So students, this was the poem. I hope you understand it very well. So I request you to share it among your friends so they can also take benefit from this. Please like, comment and subscribe this channel. Thank you.